Festivals cropping up in towns and villages all over Britain. Never have so many shindigs been centred around the good old-fashioned pint. To raise a glass to this happy news, I'm joined by some aficionados of the pop-up beer kellers that are sweeping the country, and the man who put the fizz into drinking, Clarke. Lovely to see you. Nice to see you. I love my umpire introduction. So this is great then, you know, with cameras been going for years, Campaign for Real Ale, but all these festivals are springing up everywhere now.
I think they've taken off because first it's a great excuse for a party, because you actually have good fun at festivals. And the thing about the festivals is that you go there, it is about flavour, yeah, but it's mostly about this enormous sense of local beers have taken light in this country. You can put yourself in the shoes of an average bloke, you know. He sees an advert saying, come to our beer festival, hundreds of beers to try, and there's a stampede. But the serious thing is that 30 years ago, our beer culture was dying on its feet. They were closing all our breweries down, they were being swamped by these tides of fake lager and awful concoctions like Watney's Red Barrel and all that kind of thing. But
steady!
Yes, but do you remember that? I'm shivering at the very thought of it.
Watney's Red Barrel. I remember the jingle.
You'll be on at Double Diamond, does wonders, works wonders, works
my
wonders,
dad
all that
used
stuff.
To drink Double Diamond.
Yeah, and the pint that thinks it's a quart and all that stuff.
Yes.
But the thing is, they were all terrible beers. The British...
Sorry, Dad.
They were. Anyone who liked Watney's Red Barrel, you come to the wrong show. We fought back, and basically, we just said we're not going to lose something so precious as Great British beer. We've now got over 1,000 breweries in this country, from north of Scotland right down to the edge of Cornwall. Everyone has got their local brewery.
Now, Christine Clarke, you're the London Beer Festival, so that was where?
The Great British Beer Festival takes place in Olympia, and I organised it back in the 1990s. Yeah. Then we had a break outside, went down to Earl's Court, but this year we came back to Olympia, and it's a beautiful building. Anyone who's ever been there, it's got big glass ceiling, so it's like drinking in the open air. And with the summer that we've had, thank goodness we had a roof.
Yes, quite. They all enjoyed the beer. How much do people get through in a day then, generally?
3.5 pints, but it does vary. Some people are bigger drinkers and some are smaller. We serve beer in thirds and halves and pints, so you can judge according to what you want to drink.
Through.
And the number of women we get along now is far, far higher than we ever used to. Absolutely. But don't forget, of course, brewed beer used to be brewed by women. The Brewster session, which is a licensing session, is named after the women. So actually, it's good that women are getting back into what they originally brewed.
Well, of course, there are lots of things you can do while you're drinking beer. You can flip beer mats. We have the beer mat flipping champion with us, or even the flipping beer mat champion with us. Dingo! So drop some we used to do one on the edge of the table.
Yeah,
how many can you do?
My world record is 208, and of course they're not flipped in one pile, they're flipped in sort of like a interlocking sort of system like this.
So to do your 200 and odd, you put...
It takes a while to set up.
Yeah.
And they're sort of like that when they flip 208. But what I'm going to do now is sort of like a quick demo, hopefully.
So how many have you got in your hand there then?
About 40.
40?
It's not many.
Go on. Not many, it's more than we can do.
So here we go, hang on.
So the key is to get them just teetering. Oh, 40 out for you. Let it go. Hang on. We want to get this right. Ready? Hey!
And I beat 2 world records at the Great British Beer Festival in August.
A life well spent, I say.
Snatching off the elbow. Snatching off the elbow. So I do 3 variations. It's flipping, snatching, and catching, which is palm down.
Oh my goodness me. You know, to have the time to work it all out would be wonderful, wouldn't it? The Robin Hood Festival, you can guess where that's held. We've got the organiser with us, Steve Westby. Steve, tell us about the Robin Hood one then.
It's held in Nottingham Castle grounds, so it's in a lovely setting right in the city centre. And it's about the 4th or 5th biggest in the country, but it's the one that's got the most choice of beer. We've got this year for the first time over 1,000 different real ales.
Gosh, wonderful. I think we need to try some, Oz. What have you got for us to try?
We've got Steve's local home brew.
Right, okay. Which one's that?
Castle Rock Brewery. This one here, which is called Harvest Pale, the first one here.
Right, so that's this. Here we go.
And it's what you'd have called a session beer in the old days, but in the old days it would have been a bit darker in colour, and it wouldn't have had that bright, sort of almost sort of grapefruity freshness to it.
Oh.
But this is a kind of beer that they invented to stop people drinking bad lager.
Yeah.
So they decided, we can make the same colour, because a lot of people drink with their eyes, make the same colour, but twice as much flavour.
How many beers do they have at Munich, then, in the beer fest there?
Oh, Munich.
Yeah.
6.
And how many have we got?
We've got 1,000.
They've got 6 in Munich? The Oktoberfest?
And do you know what? 6 million people go to it, and they only drink 7 million litres. That's hardly a litre each.
Wimps.
Wimps.
What's the other one? What's the next one?
Oh, this one is it. Now, don't worry about the colour here, because this is an India Pale Ale. Now, this is a very... Hey, have a smell of that, Alan. Just...
Oh, gosh.
Just what I mean.
Oh, it's like a bunch of flowers.
It's like a bunch of flowers. It's like a fruit salad. It's like sort of grapefruits and oranges and peaches all thrown together. That's the great classic style that made English beer famous 200 or 300 years ago. India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ale.
Bursting. And it's hops that does that.
It's astonishing. It's so full of flavour, I can't tell you. Now, I've got one final bottle there. What's that one?
This one here? Yeah. Well, this, Christine, you were judging this, weren't you?
This is CAMRA's Campaign for Real Ales Champion Beer Britain this year.
Right.
It's a barley wine.
Yeah.
That beer style has been around for a long, long time, but it went out of fashion. Yeah. And I think this is absolutely gorgeous, and it goes really well with brie.
It's a very strong beer. It's 8.5% alcohol. And it used to be brewed in the country houses. 18th and 19th century, the English and the French didn't get on well, so we didn't get much wine coming in.
No.
Do you normally look like that when you've had your first mouthful?
Very sweet.
No. Gosh,
and it used to be aged for about a year or two. It actually smells almost savoury. It's almost as though they put some meat into it, and, you know, they may have put the odd something into it. Well, they used to. The old rumours used to be that they put all kinds of stuff.
They're all worth trying, and all I can say, ladies and gentlemen, is here's to British beers.
Cheers.
Here's to British beers.
Just a minute. These are great British beers. Never mind your Heinz fight. 1, 2, 1, 2.